Yo YouTube, today we're going to talk about how Yu-Gi-Oh has changed over the years and how archetypes have changed over the years and done us dirty. These three cards are like the most notable cards from the original Yu-Gi-Oh! The time period when Originality actually was original. The time when Pot of Greed was around at 3. And since this period, we've had the first notable archetype as Ancient Gears, Cyber Dragons, and Heroes. And since that time, there's been a complete downfall of originality because staples start to exist when you have archetypes. When these cards first came out, there wasn't much around them. Like Dark Magician had Dark Erratic had a Warlock, Blue Eyes had Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and Red Eyes just had Red Eyes Metal Dragon,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. And that wasn't much to really make a deck out of, but it was enough to have like little bitty strategies inside of a deck full of stuff that you could just call your own. But since net decking and staples, cards like Heroes, or you're gonna see an E-Call and be like, oh, he's running Heroes, so he must have 3 E-Calls. Hero Lives, Hero Blast, Neos Alias, something like that. Super Polys.
I mean, like right then and there, they usually know your strategy. You can run a variant, but I mean, once they find out what the variant is, they pretty much know your strategy as well.
I was watching this video on YouTube, and this girl was raving about, well, not raving, ranting about when she was on DN. She was trying to duel this guy, and he said he wouldn't duel anybody if their deck wasn't original. And she told us in that video that the guy said, the guy asked her what she was running, and she told him Agents. And he said, if you have Hyperion, Venus, Shine Ball, Arclord Christia,
then the deck wouldn't be original.
It wouldn't be original.
That's what makes the deck. If they didn't have those cards, it wouldn't be Agents.
It wouldn't be Agents, then it'd be just a collection of fairy monsters in a deck. So you can't really say originality, oh, you don't have an original deck. Well, you can't be competitive and have an original deck.
Right.
If you can, you either won't win a lot, or you'll be castrated in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because you're thinking, oh, I want to run what I want to run.
And it's not the case if you're competitive.
Competitive, you have to, well, you don't have to, but you're going to probably want to win, and you're probably going to want to put together something that's consistent and good. And being original and doing that at the same time is extremely hard in this game.
Like, let's see, people say they have an original deck, but it's an archetype that's already been used. They just slightly modified some cards, like taking like 2 or 3 cards out and then added their own little twist in, and it's not original. It's different. We can give you that, but it's not original. It's hard to be original. I mean, of course, in casual play, you can be original all you want. You can throw a whole bunch of cards together, and bam, there's a deck that nobody's seen probably. But in competitive play, it's already all like it's already slated out. Like you already know what's going to be played. You already if you see
one card.
You already know the whole deck. You probably know the whole the plays.
Now there are some cases though where it's not always like that. Like in the case of Blue Eyes, he was a standalone card until GX when Copyman came out, and then later on White Stone Legend came out,
and then later on pretty recently the Blue Eyes Maiden came out.
Yeah, but in that structure deck, you got the cards to pretty much make an engine for Blue Eyes. You got your cards consonants and your trades in. So you see that and you think, oh, they have a Blue Eyes engine. They must be running Exodia. They might just have the Blue Eyes draw engine in their deck, but they might not be running Exodia. And then when E-Dragons came out, they got 7-star swords,
Mm-hmm.
So Dark Magician and Red Eyes Black Dragon pretty much became draw power cards.
Not very common, but you can't see that. But yeah, whatever's tier is what's gonna be like deck rated on.
You're just gonna see that a whole lot. Like my man here holding the camera, he came back from regionals in San Antonio, and he told me all he saw, at least one at every table.
Yeah, at least one at every table. All I kept seeing was Dragon Rulers. Like, you know, it's fine. Everybody wants to ride on Dragon Rulers, but I mean, that's all I saw. But I mean, there wasn't really any originality. Dragon Rulers, and then here and there I see like one of these other decks. I seen like 2 Fire Fist. Seen 1 Evil Swarm. I seen like 2 Mermaids. I seen 1 Hero Player. And then the rest of it was Rogue or Dragon Rulers. And yeah, when you see like 1 or 2 Dragon Rulers when you see 1 or 2 Dragon Rulers at every table, that's kind of like, man, why would I run anything else if I know I'm not gonna win with anything else, you know? And then like I was like, well, when you have a mirror match, it's just
how do you win this?
Yeah, what do you do when you know that you're gonna face like 5 out of 9 rounds you're gonna face yourself, you know, technically.
Especially since you know good and well, if you side in skill drain, most likely they're gonna side in skill drain.
Yeah, like
and one of you's gonna have redox as a wall, and it's frustrating.
Yeah, it's what can you do about it? You can't. It's just. And one last point we'd like to throw out there is once Archetypes and new extra deck cards.
Mainly new extra deck cards started coming out.
The extra deck shrink.
Like before, as far as we know, it was an infinite mass, and that was like you could have.
I think the max was like 30, but I mean that's twice of what it is now.
And that was just when we could only have fusions.
And like hardly anybody would run that many fusions unless it was a hero player.
And usually it would only be hero players that would run that many.
Yeah.
Before that though, or after that more so, they shrunk it down to 15. Maybe because of hero players, but morely because even if your deck fusioned, then it could possibly synchro.
Because like there were so many. I believe they shrunk it down because it was just pretty much like another deck. It's just like if you can synchro and you can fusion, then fuck you got a lot of advantage. And then once Xyz came, they're definitely like nah.
It's like you got a lot of options.
Yeah.
Especially with the ruling on that you can't have extra deck cards in your side deck, which I find is really ridiculous. Because they're cards.
Yeah.
It's not
like you're actually using them. And when I heard that, I was like, what? I never heard that before. I was like, that's absurd. But apparently that's a ruling.
I guess they said, oh, you gotta build that side deck perfectly.
Yeah, pretty much. So YouTube, that's been our opinion on, the rise and fall of Yu-Gi-Oh! Please comment, rate, subscribe. Leave your opinions.
Let us know what you think. Oh, look, it's Big Eye.
Team Eliminators out.
That's us.